I'm sorry, y'all are getting on here asking the general public why they wash their ass every single day instead of asking yourself, why don't you want to? Point blank period. It is not about why is everybody showering every single day. The real question is, why don't you want to? Why do you, as a fully grown, fully able-bodied adult with the privilege of having access to hot water and all the hygiene tools in the world, why do you truly have an aversion to bathing your ass daily?
A few weeks ago, this white lady came on this app and was like, oh my God, I think the reason why Black people clean themselves or shower more or have like more rules around hygiene is because they've been told for years that they are dirty and that their skin is dirty. And white people just never had that cultural experience. And so that's why we don't bathe. Okay. I think that conversation is so funny because I read this book called Hold on, let me get it. I read this book and it is about the Spanish conquest of Mexico from the indigenous perspective. And one thing that was passed down through history, like word of mouth, these stories have been passed down, is that the Spanish smelled horrible. They literally smelt revolting. I tried to look for it. I can't find the exact quote that was like said by an indigenous person. Through years of the Spanish trying to like destroy the history and the stories of indigenous people, one of the things that stayed and has been continuously told is how horrible they smell. And they had to teach them how to bathe. Oh my God. And so yeah, she is right. Hygiene is cultural. Every other indigenous group did though, because the same thing can be found in like African history as well, where they're like, they came and they smelled horrible. They didn't understand how our plumbing systems work. And that's also why Europeans had so many freaking diseases. Your culture is just to be dirty and evil.
I'm an Indian guy, and I went to go hang out with some friends recently. We're just hanging out, and then 2 minutes later, another friend showed up, and he smelled really bad. And he was a white guy, but he still smelled really bad. And I was like, oh no, I feel like I'm gonna get blamed for this. I put on a lot of deodorant, I showered, I soaped up the walls. I feel like somehow this is still gonna end up on me. Just watching my friends look at me, look back at each other, look at me, and be like, bro, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I have a hunch that I know where this is coming from. And I just have to be there like, no, it's not me. How could it be me? It's like, you ever played a game of Mafia? That's what it was like. It was like I was playing Mafia. And I was like, it's not me. It can't be me. And they're like, that's exactly what the Mafia would say. It's a very Mafia-like behavior to just deny. And I'm like, remember those 2 minutes, though, before he showed up? Remember when it smelled all peachy and rosy? And they're like, yeah, it can't be him. He can't be the Mafia. He's a white guy. Everyone knows the Mafia is only Indians.
To my fellow white people, stop saying you don't take showers online. Some of us take showers. Like, this is disgusting. What the fuck? Like, y'all are fucking weird. Wash yourselves. Damn, isn't that fucking hard? And I'm not talking about getting in a tub of water. Like, fuck. I'm disappointed. And I don't even know what I expected either. Get in the shower, grab a loofah, put some soap on it, and clean yourselves. Like, damn. Is it that fucking hard? It's hygiene.
Day 9 of showering every day until I somehow enjoy it. I think y'all are onto something. Because I showered last night before going to my boyfriend's house, and this morning I went to Pilates, and normally I would not shower after Pilates because I don't really sweat, and I don't have a lot of time, whatever, and I would just put dry shampoo in as I did and wash my face and move on with my life. Today I'm like, what do you mean I'm not gonna shower before work? Suddenly I'm like thinking, they didn't do it yet, thinking about being a 2 shower a day girl. Because you start normalizing it, which is I realized maybe what happened to me with the showering, or the non-showering, is that I started to normalize non-showering, and I didn't really feel disgusting because it was the way I felt every day. And now that I've been clean, I'm like, should I do this twice? I'm starting to wonder if y'all have tricked me, trained me, Pavlovian dog style. Oh, and also my item for today, I'm not going to shower this morning because I don't have time, but I am going to do it tonight. But my item for today is I got myself a waterproof speaker.
I just watched this video of this lady that said her husband about to get fired from his job because he been there for 4 months and they told him 4 times already he need to improve his hygiene. They said that boy need to get in some water. And before you ask, don't even ask me no stupid questions. We know what the fuck they are, for real. Come on now. She said that his boss done sent him to Walmart with his personal credit card, told him, buy some deodorant, please. Buy some new clothes, some new work shirts, some new work pants, something. You got skid marks. God damn. It look like soft white underbelly in your goddamn pants. I know he stink. If you stink that bad, well, your job is like, man, you do a good job with them wrenches. You're a good worker, but god damn, I can't work. And then they in the comments, all these women talking about some, girl, your life would be so much better if you leave that man. I think you should leave that man. If you leave him, your life would get so much. You think he smell much better? You think he smell that much better than her? Come on now, they live together. Clearly she probably stink too, maybe not as bad as him, but let's just be for real. A rose can go through concrete. A rose ain't growing through a manure pile. They live in the same establishment, like they both stink. Wherever there's vultures, there's a dump. I know for a fact that lady do not smell like roses and daisies and dandelions and chamomile, no. She don't smell like summer's eve. Hell no. That lady take her drawers off. I know for a fact it probably smell like goddamn Jeffrey Dahmer house in there. Smell like Jeffrey Dahmer house in them drawers.
I just saw a video about a lady talking about day 9 of taking a shower every day until she enjoys it. And she goes on to say that she normally don't take a shower after Pilates class. Like, why are you coming on here telling us that? We didn't ask you if you take a shower every day. You're nasty. If you want to be nasty on your own. There's no reason to come on TikTok and tell us how nasty you are. We don't even know you. Now we know that you're nasty, that you're super nasty. And, like, that's in my brain, that you don't take showers after Pilates. You stink. You stink.
So recently, I've been seeing videos saying that white people don't know how to clean themselves, and it's definitely true, but I think it's worse than some of y'all realize. So growing up, I really wasn't told, like, anything. There were definitely times I only showered, like, once a month. And, like, now I know you're supposed to wash your bed sheets, like, once a month. I used to only wash them, like, once a year at best. My friends would get jealous whenever I told them occasionally I would get paid for doing the dishes. But at that time, I didn't know that it was abnormal to leave your dishes in your sink for, like, a month, to the point that there would be sometimes maggots and mold growing at the bottom. One time I was washing a coffee cup that had mold in it, and whenever I, like, broke the top sill of the mold, smoke came out. It was like a fucking bomb. We also had dogs, and they would shit and piss on the floor, and we didn't clean it up for, like, at least a week. Other people I knew were, like, way worse about it. There's someone in particular, and anytime I would go to her house, I would have to hold back a cough every time I went inside because the whole house reeked of piss, and the floor was literally slippery because she didn't clean up her dog's piss and shit. So the whole floor just had a layer of piss. I was also staying the night at a friend's house one time, and she let her bunny shit all over her carpet in her bedroom, and I wasn't, like, gonna be able to sleep on the bed with her, so I was gonna have to sleep on the ground, and all she gave me was one blanket, meaning she thought I was going to sleep on top of the shit, and, like, put the blanket over me. Obviously, I didn't. I just put the blanket over the floor and just didn't have a blanket. So I wouldn't say that's, like, the norm for people around here. I would say it's usually just a little not as extreme. I would say in general, most people's houses are, like, kind of cluttered, definitely a bit nasty. Usually there's a roach infestation. And I live in the deep south, so it doesn't matter how clean you keep your house, you're gonna get roaches in it, but you have to keep it clean for them not to infest it. I literally have a friend who refuses to put pepper on her food because she said it just reminds her of roach droppings too much. A house that most of y'all watching this would consider just, like, average, around here people would consider that, like, a clean freak. I started teaching myself how to clean because my bathroom had a roach infestation and I am afraid of roaches. And I just noticed how much better I felt at one of my friends' houses, who my family considered a clean freak. Oh, also, some people's houses have fleas, so, like, you'll be sitting on their couch or something, and you'll get really itchy, and then all of a sudden you see a fucking flea hopping on you. My dad said whenever he was in a fraternity, it had a horrible roach infestation, to the point that if you just, like, left a plate of food out on the table, and, you know, just walked a little bit away from it, you would see roaches crawling out of everywhere to go get that plate of food. I never understood how people can just live with them, because I've been at so many people's houses, and we'll just be watching TV, and then there'll be, like, a roach or two crawling across the floor, and I see that they see them, and they just don't care. But yeah, I don't know if this is, like, a southern thing, or just a country thing. I really don't know why this is so common where I live, but yeah.
We need to say the truth. White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever. The entire history of Europe is a story of people refusing to wash their asses while looking down on everyone else. Let's start with the ancestors you worship so much. Medieval and early modern Europeans. People so filthy they were literally scared of water. They believe that bathing opened the pores and let in disease, so instead of washing, they simply wipe themselves down with dry rags and perfume. Imagine thinking water is bad for you while living in streets filled with feces and piss. Doctors warned against bathing, saying that it was too stimulating and would weaken the body. Instead, they told people to rub themselves with dry powders or just change their linens and call it a day. King Louis XIV of France, the Sun King, bathed twice in his entire life. Let that sink in. The most powerful man in Europe smelled like a rotting corpse dipped in cologne. Queen Isabella of Spain also bragged about only bathing twice in her entire life. These people ruled empires while literally festering in their own filth. You want to call other people savages? Let's talk about their hygiene habits, or lack thereof. They didn't wash their clothes. They just aired them out like letting filth touch fresh air was some kind of magical cleaning method. They slept in lice-infested beds and wore the same sweat-soaked, piss-stained clothing for weeks or months at a time. Queen Elizabeth I bragged about only changing her undergarments once a month. Her whole palace must have smelled like a backed-up sewer. Their mouths? A disaster. Europeans didn't brush their teeth. At all. By the time they were 30, their mouths were full of blackened, rotting stumps. King James I of England's breath was so bad, people would write him letters telling him how unbearable it was to be near him. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, indigenous Americans, Africans, and Asians were bathing daily, cleaning their teeth with herbs, and wearing fresh clothes. But Europeans pulled up smelling like roadkill and still had the audacity to call everyone else dirty. Let's talk about the cities you love to glorify. Paris, London, and Rome. These places were open cesspools. People threw their shit and piss into the streets because they didn't have proper sewage systems. London's Thames River was literally so full of human waste that it became toxic. In 1858, the Parliament had to shut down because of the stench, called the Great Stink, was so unbearable. Paris? Just as bad. The streets were covered with garbage, excrement, and dead animals. It was so bad that the air itself was dangerous to breathe. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, the Aztecs had running water, street cleaners, and aqueducts bringing fresh water into the city. So tell me again, who are the real savages? But let's not pretend this filth is just in the past. White people are still dirty today. You have to be convinced to wash your legs in the shower. Doctors are telling you to wash your damn feet because so many of you think that you can just let the water trickle down and that's enough. The 2020s exposed how many white celebrities don't bathe daily. Ashton Kutcher, Kristen Bell, Jake Gyllenhaal, all proudly claiming they don't shower unless they see dirt. White parents are still proudly saying that they only bathe their kids when they start to smell. Imagine raising the next generation of walking biohazards. You normalized wearing outside clothes to bed, spreading whatever germs you caught from the outside world directly onto your sheets. You go to bed without washing your hands, your face, or brushing your teeth, and wonder why your skin looks like a medieval battlefield. Meanwhile, Black, Latino, Asian, and indigenous cultures have always prioritized hygiene. Africans were using shea butters, scented oils, and natural soaps before Europeans even knew what soap was. Indigenous Americans bathed in rivers daily using herbal cleansers. South Asian and Middle Eastern cultures developed some of the earliest bathhouses, perfumes, and skincare regimens. Latinos are known for showering twice a day and keeping their homes spotless. And yet, white people still have the nerve to act like they invented civilization. The reality? You have never been clean. Your ancestors weren't clean. Your great-grandparents weren't clean. Your hygiene habits, questionable at best. Cope.
So I've been watching this cleanliness discourse go down. And let me just say this, as a person who looks like me and has been listening to other people who look like me, and it's really women, it's not men, brag about never washing their hair and how long they can go without bathing. And I've been like, are you all out of your minds? Like, I would tell people that I shower every day, which this isn't a brag.
and that I wash my hair every day, and they'd be like, that's bad for your hair. That's terrible. I work out and I get real sweaty. So, yeah, I'm gonna wash my hair and let the chips fall where they may. But as much as I don't think that, you know, it's appropriate to put burdens on, you know, people of color and whatever else to tell people who look like me how to act right, at the same time, I can't help but be grateful that this is a burden that women of color have started to take on. Because guys, I did try to tell them that it's really gross to not wash your hair more than like once every week, and to work out and not shower and brag about, you know, doing a sponge bath. You're not in the hospital. You can stand up, wash yourself.
The way these white folks are in the comments and making posts justifying why normal people don't need to bathe every day, and the way they quickly want to normalize it. It's just normal. Baby, it's normal for you. Got the nerve to be citing Harvard studies to let the rest of the world know that it's not normal to bathe, wash daily. Child, Harvard ain't the expert on black folks and our hygiene. And then Karen comes out. You all are just being mean. When I tell y'all, I love being black. I'm obsessed with it. Because you'll never convince me that we don't need to bathe every day. That's why Kendrick Lamar said, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Are y'all bathing with this here? Putting it in the bathtub. Putting this into the bathtub and putting your body inside of the bathtub. You can't do that. I mop my floors with this.
We absolutely do. We absolutely have beautiful hot Dettol baths. We do. It's within my culture. I'm Caribbean, and let me tell you something. We be bathing in Dettol, okay? We be bathing in Dettol. It's something I've grown up with, something I've always known. It's something that my mother's always known, and it's just been passed down from the islands, I think. Yeah, I bath with Dettol. And I'm proud, okay? I'm proud to be bathing with my Dettol. And I know a lot of people think it's weird. Like, I think it's weird that we don't wash chicken and, you know, other poultries. But there we go. Try it. And you know what? It doesn't aggravate the vagina area. You think it might, but it doesn't. It doesn't throw off your pH. So give it a go. I suggest a cupful in a nice hot bath.
A woman got on the internet and said that she doesn't shower every day. And by that information alone, you can tell who I'm talking about. Now, the comments, rightfully so, were cooking her shit up like it was a Labor Day cookout. What took me for a loop is that she came back and doubled down and said hygiene was a cultural thing. She was saying that back during slavery, black people were always told they were dirty. That's why it's always been in our nature to, you know, clean twice, you know, just because of that stigma. Never mind the fact that I'm pretty sure Asian people and Latin people know to shower every fucking day. Let's not leave them out of the good hygiene conversation. Shorty, if you believe that good hygiene is a cultural thing, I implore you, please appropriate our culture. Please, it's okay. Look, it's all right. It's okay. Just go ahead and do it. I promise you, we will not judge you. We will let this piece of cultural appropriation slide. Just get in that fucking shower, caca.
Hygiene is definitely cultural. It's a cultural thing, and it's a cultural issue. So me, I have properties that people live in, or they short-term lease in, or long-term lease in, and I can tell you the most cleanest people that I've came across. You think what you're going to think, but I'm going to tell you just from my experience. I've had different ethnicities live in certain places or short term live in certain places that I have, okay? I could say the most cleanest people who take pride in their appearance and how they treat things that are nice, in their how just wherever they're living, like they take care of it, is Black people. It's Black people. Unless it's wealthy white people, okay, who are older. Then I've came across people who are wealthy staying at like short-term rentals. They know how to care about things properly, but Black people be extremely clean. They take so much pride in their appearance and how they treat things. Like even like some of the Black, I hate saying Black on here. It sounds so weird, but some of the people that I've worked with, they're extremely clean with even personal items. Like I remember I had one lady and her man, they stayed somewhere and they had, she had, I don't know how her hair was, but she said she laid her towels on the pillows at one of my short-term properties, so that she wouldn't stain up the white pillows. And when she had her monthly, she laid her towel, her own, y'all, she bought her own towel. She didn't use the white towels to stain them with her monthly. So she put the towel down for her monthly. And y'all, I've had people who are not Black bleed up furniture. And that sounds disgusting, but it's just like, it is. Like, why would somebody do that? That's trifling. Why would you bleed up a bed or a couch? You know you're on your period. But I say this to say that a lot of people are not clean, and a lot of Black people are really, really clean. We take really good pride in our appearance and how we clean our body.
I genuinely think that we do not understand. I look a hot mess. I just left the gym. I think we don't understand how disgusting people are. Like, honestly, I'm very lucky. Like, my husband is a very clean person. I am a very clean person. I'm very hyper aware of, like, wanting to be clean. Like, taking a shower every night because I just sweat all day. Like, I don't know. That's just like a very slim example. I just heard of this story about this girl who was needing advice because her husband refused to use toilet paper whenever he would go to the bathroom. And he had this like habit of like picking dookie crumbs out of his crack and just like flinging them across the house, in the sheets, on the floor. Excuse me, what? I mean, I knew that people, like, there were definitely people out there that like hygiene, you know, it's not like their number one thing. It's not their like top priority. I knew that, but like, excuse me? You are literally digging in your crack, picking out your butt crumbs and throwing them across the house, putting them in the sheets. Just someone explain this to me. Is this something like, oh, they just weren't taught as a child? Is this something like, I genuinely, like, I mean, I could see, like, if you're, like, mentally unstable, maybe, like, hygiene is not number one. Like, I mean, I kind of can, I don't know. I don't understand. Why do you not have the desire to be clean, to feel clean, to smell clean? Like, it blows my mind, but I don't know. What is the psychology behind this? I've never heard of someone that has a habit of picking their crack. Okay, like biting your nails, like, you know, doing like things like that. That's a habit. What are we doing? What is happening? I am genuinely confused. Yeah. Ew, what?
It's so shocking that people still don't have their bath every day. Like, when I see these videos that white people don't have their bath every day, it's still so shocking to me. I thought we left it, right? I thought it's a thing of the past. Why is it still happening now? Why are they not having their bath every day? Oh my God. I don't even want to imagine it. Honestly, I don't want to sound as though I am laughing at them, right? Or probably want to make jest of them, no. But here's the thing. People who work in the hospitals or work as healthcare assistants. How do you do it? When you're taking care of these people, don't you wash them every day? Because honestly, it's disgusting, to be honest. Like, if I could call my 5-year-old daughter here and ask her, she'll be like, wow, who is doing that? That is how serious this is. How won't you have your bath? Anyways, I'm not talking to that people here because I don't have them here. But to be honest, people who get married to these men or these women that don't shower, how do you enjoy it? How do you eat the cookie? Or how? Oh my God, this is crazy. Ah. So, do you know how I feel? I feel, oh, some people still live, it's delusional or something more delusional than that, to be honest. Like, some people even poo without even washing or cleaning up. How do they do this thing? Honestly, hygiene is cultural. I totally agree with that saying. Hygiene is cultural. I want to hear your own experience. Have you been in the bus or a train before and the person sitting close to you is literally smelling? How do you feel? Honestly, I have serious OCD, obsessive compulsion disorder. I will puke. I don't know who else is like me. Let me see that in the comments anyways. If you've not subscribed, go ahead, subscribe, like, share this video to your friends. It's me, Blessing, on Global Just a BJ. I love you all so much, my black people. Bye.